Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Work in Progress Wednesday. I am your host, Modern Synthesis, otherwise known as Mr. Pink, or Pinky if you're freaky. And I'm joined by my friend and co-host, Kajan. Good evening, Kajan.
Hi,
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, and how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. My leg continues to get better and better, which makes me happy. I was able to walk down the street without, well, I used a cane, but I was able to walk down the street without the help of a walker, like a rolling walker today, so that was good.
Okay.
But I'm still not super confident because of all the weird stuff I've had to go through. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
So, are you going to go full Dr. House with the flame decal on your cane?
Oh, I didn't. Oh man, I haven't watched House in a long time. I forgot about that.
I
Um,
watched it just recently.
my
That's
hope
why I
is to not
remember.
have the cane for very much longer, so I'm not gonna. And it's a wooden cane that my father used. That it's kind of full circle because my dad needed a cane, so I went out and I found him a cane and I like picked it out and everything. Um, and I made sure it like looked kind of cool, and it was like our good friend why am I drawing a blank? Dan Kaplinger, our carving friend, Dan Kaplinger. I feel like he would appreciate this cane because it's very woody and carven, and I don't think it would look very good with a decal on it. And I
Yeah,
love
Dan
me
is
some stickers. I put stickers on everything, but I would not put stickers on this cane.
Dan is in chat. So,
Oh, Dan, yeah. Dan would not appreciate me putting stickers on this cane. It's like it's got like the bark of like a tree branch on it, and then it's got like this spiral pattern carved down it through the bark to show the wood underneath, and that spiral pattern is like, this is, I don't know the name for it. It's varnished, shellacked, something like that. So yeah, it would kind of mar the aesthetic of the cane to put some flame decals on it. Also, it's the case that my goal is to not be using this cane for much longer to get back to like full non-cane operation. But if I ever find myself in a situation like House where I need a cane full time, you better believe I'm gonna be putting stickers on it. So what have you been up to lately, Kaja?
mostly home stuff, and I didn't have much time to do much hobbing the last
Yeah.
week. So yeah, actually, this is the first time I'm going to get to sit down and work uh, on my projects. So that's always great.
Good.
And yeah,
Happy to hear it.
and so far we have in chat Radon and Dan and the squid with glasses. With
Oh,
glass.
Squid's back. Hey, buddy. Hello everyone. Hello Radon. Hello Dan. Um, welcome. Oh, I've got the chat window up. We used to do that all the time, but then people were like, "You can just see it on YouTube. Why do we need the chat window up?" Oh wait, I messed up the chat
Well, I
window.
can't. I mean, I don't always see it when I go back and
Yeah.
check out the video. So
Well, we've got it now until Shane shows up, and then probably we're gonna put Shane's video in that section. So, hello, Gideon Smith. Welcome. I feel like we've seen Gideon once before, at least.
yeah.
Yeah. So, I have started working on a Hive Tyrant. See here. This is actually a commission for someone. And I am blending this Hive Tyrant with some Sylvaneth pieces, which is kind of cool. It was here's a cool Sylvaneth claw from Drycha or whatever her name is. So yeah,
Yeah,
this is
that looks nice.
for. Sorry.
That looks nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I've got like basically I'm taking like I was planning to take Drycha's arms, and her cool claws, and then to take all of the bits of her armor that are that have this like honeycomb structure on them, And the idea is that this is like a hive tyrant with devourers, but the devourers are supposed to shoot out bugs and all that stuff, right? But the idea here is that these pieces of its armor are also hives that can like fire out little gory tyrannid stuff. So I need to like mount this thing on like the leg in place of the armor plates, and on the body it's gonna have like this hive thing on its torso, which is gonna be fun, and then it's gonna have this other hive thing on its pelvis, which is gonna be fun. And yeah, so I gotta make that happen and tyrannid it up a bit. The example model that he sent through to me, it had a lot more of like the dry chaw in it, like the legs and everything, but I think it can do better with more hive tyrant in it. But I just need to make some room for some stuff. So that's what I have been working on lately.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to what you're doing with it because it's a great idea.
Thanks. I also want to do some homage to Roberto Cirillo on it, and he's got this really cool drawing of a hive tyrant that's got like a got this like cool mask on that kind of looks like knightly armor, sort of. So I want to replicate that. But I've gotten as far as being like, I need to put a tyrant head on this. Then I gotta figure out how I'm gonna modify the head to represent the armor. I also need to see what clearance I need for the head with this. Oh, I almost did the thing that the creature conference tells you never to do, which is forget to put that weird little piece that goes right here on the hive tyrant. In fact, I should assemble that right now before I miss it, because if you check Games Workshop's official pictures of the hive tyrant, it's missing this piece. They didn't even assemble their own hive tyrant, right? It is sneaky little bit number 9. Right down here. This is like the top of the hive tyrant's rib cage that it's common to forget. So let's not forget that. Let's get that in there right now.
Pretty sure I forgot that one myself.
I literally just did. I was like looking at the hive tyrant, like, oh man, I missed that one weird little piece. So here's how to build a hive tyrant properly. Oh man, Kajan. I mean, I know we're not supposed to talk about Star Wars on the stream, but it's not really Star Wars. It's like the most un-Star Wars Star Wars they ever made. Have you been watching Andor?
No, actually, I've been waiting until everything is released so I can binge it.
You know what,
Because
Kajan? Until like a few like hours ago, I would have told you that you could watch it now because everything's released. But I foolishly did not realize. I thought it was 9 episodes for some reason. I did not realize that it was a 12-episode season. And boy, was I ever happy to discover that error, because I was watching it and I'm like, I don't see how they're going to wrap all this up in bear with, I'll find this one. I'm like, I don't know how they're gonna wrap all this up by the end of episode 9. Like, what the heck's going on here? And then I looked up like how many episodes is season 2 of Andor. Kind of searches you should always do when you're an idiot. And I discovered that no, season 2 actually has 12 episodes, which I was very happy about because, yeah, I love Andor, and like more Andor is good times. So I just finished watching episode 9, and I'm much happier with what happened in episode 9, knowing that there will be episodes 10, 11, and 12. Also, because the final 3 episodes of Andor season 2, I would say, or season 1, I would say, are some of the strongest.
yeah, I agree with that. And I had the plan to binge it because thinking back at the first season, I probably wouldn't have watched all of it if I hadn't been able to binge it. So
yeah, I would tell everyone, 1, you need to watch Andor, and 2, I'm very sorry that the first 3 episodes are like the slowest thing ever. I don't love the first 3 episodes of the first season. Like they could be much stronger.
But instead of Endor, I watched the Ethernaut.
What?
No, the Argentinian comic they produced. There was a comic from the 50s from Argentina about an alien invasion, kind of an alien invasion in Argentina, and Netflix made a series about it. It's called the Ethernaut.
Oh, I didn't know about that. That's cool.
And yeah, it starts with toxic snow. So
Oh,
that's
creepy.
how it starts.
That's creepy.
And yeah, it's I have a buddy of mine is from Argentina, so
Oh, cool.
he was all hyped about it.
Yeah.
So and that's how I mostly learned about it. And also had to talk with him about it because I wasn't quite happy with how people reacted, and he was like, no, you don't get it, that's how we are over here. I'm like, okay.
What do you mean?
It's the people seem a little bit dysfunctional for me to me, like they the whole six it's just 6 episodes, and
Yeah.
takes place over the span of like a week.
Yeah.
And they basically start out the snow comes down, it gets freezing cold, people that touch the snow die. And that's how it all starts. And you have these buddies that are sitting together playing cards. And basically, not even 5 minutes in, they are on each other's throat, and like, you're going to backstab us and everything, like totally paranoid, like it's been 2-3 months already in.
Yeah.
And then some survivor comes in from the
Oh, so you felt
outside.
like it wasn't believable, but your buddy was like, no, this is how Argentinians are.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
That's
Argentines, I guess.
I was like, I don't get it. Over here, like the first thing we over here would be jumping to, oh, it's a chemical spill or something like that. Because you have these white flakes flying down and people touching them, and they're basically dying a couple seconds later. So the first thing people would go to would be chemical spill, and you wouldn't expect that someone coming in from the outside trying to seek shelter from this deadly fallout is going to steal your stuff.
Yeah. That's what they worry about.
Yeah, they actually have someone come in the first episode. Someone has delivered them some booze just 5 minutes before it started.
Yeah.
And she was still outside working, trying to fix her bike, basically, because something was wrong with her bike. And this whole thing started, and she saw everything. And she was still in the garage, and then tried to get into the house, basically, so she doesn't freeze to death.
Yeah.
Because she's running around in t-shirts and shorts, and it's below freezing.
Yeah.
And they are basically discussing if they should be letting this poor woman in. And I was like, okay.
And your friend's like, no, we're horrible people. It's true.
Yeah, basically. It was like, yeah, that's we are paranoid like that.
Is it a live
we
action
nice.
or is it an animated?
Yeah, no, it's live action.
Cool. And did they do it like in like, God, what do they speak in Argentina? Spanish? Portuguese? I don't know.
Yeah, you can. It's an Argentinian production, and they're speaking Spanish, I believe, if you want to. But it has an English dub.
I would never. I was raised on anime. I watch subs.
Not everything I watch subbed. There are things there are times I don't want to read.
Okay, that makes sense. But like when I watch Dark, fine German production, I definitely watch that subbed.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I can't
So
stand
good.
German productions.
So good, dude. It's so good.
Yeah, but there's something about German production that's driving me up a wall. So
Okay, I understand. I
it's
don't have a lot of experience with German productions, so I can't really comment. I can just say I watched that one and I
yeah,
enjoyed it. And don't tell me
yeah.
what your
No,
issue is, because I feel like I will see what you're talking about and I will hate Dark.
yeah. My problem again in general with German production is they are very German,
Shocker.
and yeah, I just can't.
It's okay. You
Something
don't need to
about
explain it.
yeah.
But yeah, I would highly recommend that people should watch Andor. Andor is not a Star Wars show. It's basically like a science fiction spy drama set in the Star Wars universe, and it's freaking fantastic. I love the character that Stellan Skarsgård, the dad from the Skarsgård family. He's in it, and he plays this awesome character who I think is really great. And then also they, one of the coolest roles in Andor, that wins the prize for character from the Star Wars universe that you never thought you'd give a shit about, is the role of Mon Mothma, who like just shows up in like 5 seconds of New Hope and gives a speech, and you're like, who's this weird lady? She's like an actual character in Andor, and she's good times.
Yeah, they fleshed
Hello.
her out. Hi.
Hello, welcome Shane. Happy to have you aboard.
I had a very long day at work today.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Hopefully you can decompress with some hobby shit.
Yep, that's the goal.
Sweet.
That's the goal.
Shane, are you watching Andor?
I have not started yet.
Okay.
On the list.
You have not started season 2, or you never saw season 1?
I have not watched any of it.
Oh, okay. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, everybody tells me that. So I definitely need to pick it up, but
Are you far from your mic? I feel like you're a little
hello?
quiet, but maybe I can adjust that.
Hello? Hello? Is that better?
Hello? Does he sound quiet for you, Kajan?
Yeah, he sounds a bit hoarse.
I feel like this was an issue last time too.
What did you do? Do you remember what you
did to
did?
adjust it.
I just cranked you,
I think
but...
you guys adjusted me.
Well, I tried. Hopefully it works. Chat can tell us if Shane is hearable.
I think my input volume's turned all the way up, so
Weird. Oh well. Oh, Kajan, I see someone in the chat is saying that Dark was awesome and they got to practice their German. The only German that I learned from the Netflix series Dark is, and Nora and I will say it to each other randomly, is "Aber viele de Matrix," and we have no idea. It's like, no, anyway, it sounds like "Cop Feel of the Matrix," and that's what we say, but that's totally not what they were saying. But whatever. That's what we took from Dark in terms of German.
I couldn't tell you what it is.
Well, I'm not saying it anywhere near right.
On my list.
Oh, it's so good. If you like dark stuff, it's so like it delivers on the name. It is very dark.
I do like.
It's not a feel good TV show, but I'd say rewarding.
Dub or sub?
Oh, dude, sub.
Sub. Yeah, I've always found that the Netflix dubs are pretty terrible, with the sole exception of, at least from what I've watched, the Cyberpunk series.
Oh yeah, you guys said. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I just feel like the names of everyone sounds way more epic in German than in English. Like people named like Jonas and Ulrich and Martha.
Yeah, but it only sounds amazing if you're not speaking German.
Okay, well, I'm not speaking German, so it's fine with me.
If you're speaking German, it's like the most basic lame names possible.
Okay, whatever. Quit shitting on my parade. This is an awesome show. Yeah. So, Shane, what have you been up to?
Hobby-wise, not much. I been whittling away at a couple different projects.
Mm-hmm.
I just like I have this thing where, and I'm sure this is a common phenomenon, but like I get really close to the end of the project, and
Yes.
like it's like I just can't get myself through that last little bit.
Dude, I feel
And
you.
then I finish it and I'm like, oh my God, why didn't I just do this? It only
I
took like
feel
10
you.
minutes. Like,
I've done this. I have this problem.
I'm at that point right now.
Uh-oh. How are you overcoming it,
and it
Kajan?
just like it makes me like want to just start a new project, but I know I shouldn't.
Is this the guy who's starting as I start a new project? Well, I need to finish this, but no, I feel you. I get that.
I'm overcoming it by hopping on a stream with 2 buddies and working
Smart
on stream.
plan. This is our get shit done stream.
Yeah.
Is that what we do here?
I hope so. That's what I need from this stream. I was saying earlier, Shane, before you jumped on, I'm working on a winged hive tyrant that's got some bits of Drycha, the Sylvaneth lady. Mostly just like her armor and her hands. But yeah, that's what I'm working on now, and it's going to be like a devourer hive tyrant. So
is that the tree one, or is that's not
it's
the one on the beetle, right?
no. Yeah, it's the lady in the tree.
Oh, okay.
With sick claws. And she's got these kind of like
okay.
beehive growths all over her, which fit pretty well for like a devourer swarm or something like that. So yeah, I'm leaning into that.
I've been having like all these ideas for like weird like the dream cursed, the Tyranid mutants that I'm developing for
Your
chapter
setting?
28.
Yeah.
I keep like coming up with ideas, and then I'm like gathering up parts, and then I'm like, oh, this is so cool, and I start like chopping bits up and playing around with stuff, and then I look over in the corner, and there's like 6 separate piles of bits going to particular models, and I'm just like, I should like actually do it instead of just like gathering up the bits and then they just sit there gathered staring at me.
Yeah. Well, which one of them speaks to you the most?
Right now it's the guy eating the arm. By the way, yeah, my camera is my webcam's busted, so I can't.
Okay, I just looked to see if I could see your camera feed, and I was like, wait, what? Because you're like, this guy feeding the arm. I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah, it's the guy I was working on last stream. He's like holding a severed arm. Because like my idea for the Dream Curse is basically it's like it's basically a psychic affliction which manipulates people's DNA to slowly turn them into something more like a Tyranid. And one of the things that it does is it mutates your digestive system so that you don't properly dispose of waste, and you actually devour the biomass of other things, and the affliction can then use that biomass to further mutate you. So one of the symptoms of the affliction is cannibalism. So you have people who just like are eating other people and then slowly becoming more and more mutated as the affliction has more biomass to work with and more genetic material to make them into something more resembling a Tyranid, but never quite there, just like kind of like I guess visually a little bit like the Malstrain.
Yeah.
Just like kind of not quite right Tyranids.
Cool. I like that lore.
So this guy's like he's gonna have like a mutilated corpse on his base, and he's kind of holding his stomach like he's hungry, because like all the people suffer from endless hunger.
Gives good new meaning to Great Devourer.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I really loved that little part of the lore that they did with that one psychic power where it's like they psychically turn your brain into a bug.
Yes, I
And
think
I
we all
just
love
love the
that.
idea. I just love the idea of the Tyranids, like, rather than using something like organic, like the Gene Stealer's kiss, like actually using the psychic element to mutate people.
Yeah, I think that spoke to a lot of us when that. I think that was in the last codex before the current one was when they premiered that. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. The idea that like the Tyranid psychic power is so potent that the psychic power can create an organism in your brain. Like it can implant a parasite into your brain through psychic power, like a biological entity.
I thought that was pretty neat.
Sorry, I said biological entity, and it made me think of EBE, which made me think of X-Files.
I do love the X-Files.
Do people know that the X-Files is coming back and it's being done by Ryan Coogler?
I heard that, and I'm very excited because I've loved pretty much everything Ryan Coogler's done.
Have you seen Sinners? I watched it with Nora.
I have not. I have not. I really want to go see it.
Well, if you care about that sort of thing, it's coming back in IMAX from May 15th to May 21st, but it's only like select cinemas, so I don't know if there's one in your region, but Capital Region.
Yeah, I have an IMAX, but I have a feeling Thunderbolts is probably going to be monopolizing that.
Well, no, this is like is it next week it starts? So they might free up some space for Sinners because it's been doing so well that maybe they're going to be motivated to open up some room for it.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I would like to see it.
It was really pretty. It was cool. Yeah, we really enjoyed it. And like there's like musical numbers in it, and I like the musical numbers in it way more than I thought I would.
Oh, interesting.
Like not like awkward like musical like theater musical numbers, but
oh, okay.
Sorry, I won't say anything else. Yeah, it was.
I've also
really
got
cool.
this weird idea for like a floating psychic Tyranid thing. That's like I'm kind of imagining it as like almost like a psychic manifestation of the affliction itself.
Oh my god, is it a giant mouth?
No, it's gonna kind of be more visually inspired by the moon presence from Bloodborne.
Don't know.
I mean, spoiler alert if you haven't played Bloodborne, but I mean, it's been out for 11 years, and if you haven't
I've never played Bloodborne, and I'm not going to.
Oh, you should. If you get the chance, definitely should.
Isn't that one of those FromSoft games that's like super frustrating and difficult?
Yes. I've never found it frustrating. I've always found it challenging. But for some people, yes, I can understand how it would be frustrating.
I'm not sure if I'm into that. But thank you for the suggestion.
It's worth it. I'll send you a link. There's like one that I know of that's like it's a pretty good walkthrough because the guy kind of like he like makes it cinematic because I mean it's a RPG, so like it's kind of one of those games where it's kind of free form, so it's hard to make a let's play that's really comprehensive. It's like doing a let's play of Skyrim. Like, yeah, you can play through the whole main story, but you're still missing a lot.
Yeah. So he like edits it and cuts it and stuff?
Yeah, and I feel like he edits it in such a way that makes it feel more linear than the game actually is, so it feels like you're getting
that's awesome.
A full comprehensive view of the game.
That sounds great. Because I don't really want to watch someone like grind for hours.
No, yeah. That's also another reason why I think it's hard to do let's plays of FromSoft games. That, and if the person's not good, you're just watching them endlessly die over and over and over again.
Be challenged over and over and over again?
Yes.
I mean, depends how they are taking their death. So some people can be really entertaining when they are freaking out about that stuff.
Yeah. Oh man, I have a video of Nora playing Dead Space, like the remake on PlayStation. It's amazing. It's so much fun.
Yeah, Dead Space was actually another kind of inspiration for the Dream Curse with the markers and all that.
There's like this in Dead Space. There's like a member of your team, Chen, who like gets like infected by the thing. Spoiler alert: that game's been out for 1,000 years. And then there's this one point where like you like go to this like I think it's like a shuttle bay or something, and like the ship that like Chen was on is like landed or crashed into it. Nora's just like going around being like, "Fuck you, Chen! I know you're here somewhere," because it was so like foreboding. And there's like all these like monsters jumping out. It was it was wonderful.
Yeah, I haven't played the remake yet. I did play all three of the original games when they came out.
I have only played the remake because I have Nintendo systems, so I never have any advanced games. I didn't even have a system for years, probably like a decade. Until the Switch.
2 was really good. 3 was also good, but not as good as the first 2. And
probably not going to play them unless they make a remake.
Kind of pseudo ends on a cliffhanger that unfortunately we'll probably never see the 4th game.
Well, I don't know how successful the remake was. Because if it was successful, they're probably going to do like a remake of 2, but not sure.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they remade 2 and then remade 3 and then we finally got 4.
That'd
be great.
But I really enjoyed playing the first one, the remake. It was super creepy. There was points where I'm like, I don't know if I can get through this, but I got through it. It helped that I actually like glitched the game and made it so that all of the necromorphs were, it was an accident. I was an idiot and I didn't, what was it? I was in a zero gravity room because they introduced because I think zero gravity came in the second game, but in the remake they added it to the first game.
No, there's zero grav in the first game.
Okay, well there's this room that has like zero gravity and there's like a box, like a loot box in it. And like, I didn't want to waste bullets shooting it, or maybe I didn't have bullets or something. And I didn't realize that you could like punch boxes in 0G because you normally like you stomp them.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to stomp in 0G. So I used my like magnetic power to drag the 0G box into a non-0G room so that I could stomp it. And I think the game was like, no, does not compute. So the way that it glitched out is that all of the necromorphs turned into disembodied boxer shorts. Like they had all the noises like but like it would literally be a swarm of disembodied boxer shorts attacking me. So it was kind of hilarious and that made it a little less scary until I had to like reboot and like start from scratch because my save file like corrupted the whole game or something. It was, I don't know.
They were reverse gene stealers.
Yes, exactly. Just the genes. But yeah, that made it a little less scary for a while until I got it running again properly.
It's actually really funny. I'm just imagining it.
It was weird. But then there was like other like that happened with like the normal necromorphs, but then there was other like monsters. Like there's that one that like it's got like 2 arms and a big snaky tail and it like crawls on the walls and stuff.
Oh yeah.
That one was just invisible.
Ones, right?
That one was just invisible. Like I couldn't, it would like attack me, but I couldn't find it because of the glitch.
Those things are terrifying enough when you could see them.
Yes. So that was weird. But eventually I got it sorted out.
Poor Isaac. Yeah, poor Isaac.
Fun game. The other piece of legacy media that I've been consuming lately is The Sopranos. I never watched it. And now I'm finally on, I think I'm on season.
Oh, so you're almost done then.
Yeah, there's 6 seasons, right?
Yes, or is there 5 and it's broken up into 2 parts? I can't remember. I think the last season is shorter.
Oh,
or
okay,
like
gotcha.
it's like season 5 is like longer, but it's broken up into kind of like 2 parts. I can't remember. I think they did something similar to what Breaking Bad did, where it was like it was like a 2-part last season. I can't remember
Oh,
though.
okay,
It's been a
I
long
see.
time since I've watched it. My mom is obsessed with that show. There was a
Sopranos?
period when I was like, oh yeah. There was a period when I was like a teenager that like I feel like every time my room was in the basement, so like if I wanted to get to like the refrigerator or whatever, I'd have to go upstairs, and the
Yeah.
TV, the living room was like there. And I feel like every single time I walked upstairs, if
She was
my mom
watching The
was watching
Sopranos?
something, she was watching The Sopranos. I watched most of The Sopranos before I ever actually sat down to watch The Sopranos, just like
Okay.
from catching my mom watching it.
Hopefully you didn't catch your mom watching any of the sexy parts, because there's like, it was like, I don't know if it was the first HBO show to have boobies in it, but there's some
It
boobies.
definitely set the precedent. But yeah, no, it was mostly like the. I
Shooting
was glad
people?
I wasn't ever spoiled for any of like the major parts.
Don't spoil anything
Like
for
the
me,
major.
because I'm, yeah.
Nope, I won't. I am interested because I'm sure you're aware of the reputation that the ending has.
Well,
I
I
am
didn't,
interested to see if you like it.
I don't know that much, but I did, I think, have another streamer was talking about The Sopranos back when like I had no interest in watching it. And I think they said something that kind of stuck in my brain. So part of it might have been spoiled. Meaning like a character who you haven't seen for seasons who comes back unexpectedly. Possibly. I'm not going to even go into it because I can barely remember what I heard.
Don't go into it. Just
Yeah.
the ending is very controversial. There are people that think it's the perfect ending and the best ending to a TV show ever, and then there's people who think it's the worst ending of a fantastic show ever. So
Listen,
it's like very polarized.
I'm a pretty controversial person. I don't know if you know that about me. I love Rogue One. I love Last Jedi. I love Prometheus. I was not ruined by the end of Battlestar Galactica. It was weird, but I liked it just fine. It didn't spoil the whole show for me. I also didn't hate the ending of Lost. I really enjoyed Lost, even if the ending wasn't like the best. I'm not going to be one of those people who's like, Lost is worthless because the ending was weird. So I can separate myself from weird endings, is what I'm trying to say.
I don't think it's not an ending that ruins the rest of the show. It's more just like people feel like the people who don't like the ending just feel like it's not a good ending. Like it should have ended differently. But I personally love the ending. So I feel like everybody who watches The Sopranos for the first time, they all like you either love the ending or you hate it. And there's no in between. It's not like, oh, that was an okay ending.
I will let you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like, did I already mention this on stream? I don't know. I kind of like had a weird experience where I was watching White Lotus, and the actor who plays Chris, like Chris Maltasanto or whatever, his like nephew or whatever, he's in White Lotus. He like plays like this Italian like dad who's going back to Italy with like his son and his father to, like rediscover their family's roots. So I watched him in that, and then I came and watched The Sopranos. I'm like, wait, that guy looks really familiar. Oh wait, that's the guy from White Lotus. And
good to see
I don't know.
He's still getting work. I always thought he was a really good actor. I thought he was one of the strongest actors.
I like Chris. He's one of my favorites. I used to really be into Silvio and Paulie, but now Paulie's kind of pissing me off.
Oh yeah, Paulie pisses you off. Actually, funny thing about Paulie is he actually in real life was like a gangster.
Really?
Yes, like he was actually involved in organized crime.
Oh, amazing.
In real life. So it adds an element of like authenticity to his performance.
Yeah. And then like the guy who plays Silvio he's like a musician, isn't he?
I believe so. Yeah. I always really liked Silvio.
Yeah. Yeah, the fourth season's the one where Paulie like randomly disappears, and I looked it up, and it's because he had like back surgery. So he's like randomly in prison because of a thing you never see happen on screen. I was like, wait, this feels really suspicious.
Although it feeds into the plot pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I always really liked Furio. Furio was
I like Furio too. Yeah. I'm at the episode where Furio just went back to Italy because his dad died.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. I'm worried he might not make it back, but we'll see.
You will have to wait and see.
I'll have to wait and see. You're a good man. You're a good man at not spoiling stuff.
Yeah, no, I hate when people spoil stuff for me, so I try and be as vague as possible and always ask questions before I just mention something.
Kajan, did you ever watch The Sopranos?
No.
All right. Well, it's fun. It's like I feel a hankering to watch it. Like I forced myself to catch up on Andor because I didn't want to get spoiled. But then I was like, oh man, I could be watching Sopranos right now. I'm like, wait, what am I doing? This show's so old. I want to watch Sopranos rather than watching Andor. What the heck?
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Sopranos, like The Godfather, is something that's went totally by me.
Well, you can always catch up.
Yeah, maybe one day I will.
Well, I tell you what, if you, God forbid, I'm not wishing this upon you, but if you ever should find yourself with a weird leg problem that has you sat on your ass for a long time and you're looking for television to watch, Sopranos could be it.
Yeah, I probably will be watching some weird Chinese martial art show then.
Or you can do that.
Yeah, do we want to take a quick spin through the chat?
Absolutely, please.
So we had Squid with class earlier saying he built his first winged hive tyrant this week.
Oh, sweet. Squid, I'm actually building my first winged hive tyrant, which is ridiculous. I have never used these wings on this torso, and I was just like, oh, how does this fit? And I saw how like cleanly the socket and like the wing membrane fit into the torso, and I was like, oh, that's very satisfying. I'm pretty happy with that. But I was sad because I was building this guy and I was trying to plan for like all the arms I was going to put on him. I'm like, yeah, you know, he's going to have these two cool like claw arms in his bottom sockets. And I'm going to make these like custom weapon arms for the upper sockets. And I'm like, wait, the wings take the upper sockets. I have no opportunity to build in cool weapon arms unless I sacrifice one of these cool claw arms. Shit. But yeah, I was like, oh, wings, should I move them to the back? And then I saw how well they fit. I'm like, no, I'm not moving them. This is too cool. It's because what I use these arms for is that these are some of the greatest long extended arms that you can find on a Tyranid kit. You don't necessarily think about it, but if you cut the wing membrane off, and it's not that hard if you have like a chisel scalpel blade. I should get a new one. This one, see. You can cut off the wing membrane, and these arms are I think they're the longest arms in any of the Tyranid kits. And they work well for a great number of things. So I've cannibalized piles of these wings just to get these big arms. And then you got like cool claws on the end here that you can cannibalize as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of those bits that you get a lot because
yeah,
don't build a winged version.
Yeah, and it's also the case that this is one of those old kits where Games Workshop put a bunch of extra bits in it that you don't see anymore in kits. Like, there's 2 sets of legs in here. And you can turn, if you're ever, like, hurting for, if you really love Tyrant legs like I do, and you're hurting for a walking Tyrant leg because you use the walking Tyrant legs in your kit. I'm assuming everyone knows this, but because it's kind of obvious, but in case you don't. Yeah, there's this Scything Talon here, but they got creative when they were designing it, and it's just got a normal hoof on it. So you just take a saw, you take one of these, you take clippers, just chop it off right there, and you've got 2 sets of walking Tyrant legs in a Tyrant kit, which is really good.
Holy
if you want to
shit.
make... Come on, are you serious?
Yeah, I had no idea until you pointed that out.
Okay, well, I'm glad that we had this talk because, yeah, like, these legs are amazing, especially if you want to make Tyrant Guard, who are the proper size to walk beside a Hive Tyrant. Yeah, look. I'm not going to say they were lazy, because I'm happy that it happened, but look at these 2 legs. These things is not like the other.
I literally had no idea that that was a thing.
Cool. Glad we had this chat. Yeah, just get right in there and just get your saw right here, and you got the same leg twice.
You know, now that I look at it, now I'm never going to be able to unsee it.
Good man.
No, you.
And now I'm trying to make some cool bird talon legs for this tyrant. Using drycha claws, because I don't think that any flying tyrant should be knife walking. I know that's an elegant solution for giving it another like pair of scything talons, because this thing's supposed to have scything talons and its wings don't really count as scything talons. But yeah, I want it to be able to land and perch on stuff like a burb. So what I did was I took these drycha claws are so sexy. Like, I would love to have 1,000 of these to just mess around with. But if you look at them, you've got a thumb here, kind of underneath, and you've got these two claws here, and then the other two claws are kind of like stuck on the edges, like on the left and the right. So it's very easy to just come in here with a saw or with a chisel scalpel blade and just knock this side off, and then just knock this side off. And that's what I did here with the other hand. And what I'm going to do is, because this is supposed to be a devourer tyrant, I'm going to build devourers into the sides of this. Just like pointing down alongside the claws. So it's kind of like a dual weapon that's like a claw and a devourer. But the devourer is like built into the forearm. And then that means you get two little claws here that you can glue together to make a little bird foot.
That is very cool. I do like those claws. They are pretty neat looking.
They're wonderful. It's an expensive kit to buy just for the claws. It's cool, like, if you want to use the legs. The legs are pretty neat as well, in like that kind of druidy, dryad, that's the word I'm looking for, dryad kind of vibe. But yeah. Is that there? I'm just gonna have to probably do a like a heel talon of some kind on this leg, but this little bit here at the back of the leg is well positioned to have like a little like heel talon. Not sure what I'd use for that, but this is fitting pretty nicely. So hobby happenings this week. Did anyone want to talk about drama in Spain?
I do not know about
the no idea.
Spain.
Okay, well, if you're not aware, Spanish miniature companies are a mess. They're always a mess. There's always some drama. There's always some controversy swirling in the Spanish miniature company. Oh, is this the
big child creatives thing?
Yeah, that junk. I don't really need to talk about this. I just wanted to use it as an opportunity to dump on Spanish miniature companies for not having their shit together. Like, we all know about Green Shut the Fuck Up World that we don't talk about, and them being dicks. But then there's like people who make busts of like orcs that look like Hitler, and then there's people who make how-to guides about how to create atrocities, miniatures of atrocities. And it's always coming out of Spain, and I just don't get it, man. Like, why can't Spain get their crap together? Why are they so explosive all the time? And always...
I'm not familiar with the last two you described.
Oh, really? You know how they have, like, miniature companies make those busts that you're just supposed to paint?
Yeah.
One of them was an orc bust in the style of Hitler. Like, he had his, like, brown shirt, whatever, awesome. It was, well, I don't know. It was supposed to be hilarious. That's what the Spaniards think. And then the other one was, oh god, was it scale 75?
AK.
They all,
was it, I believe.
Is it AK?
AK. Yeah.
They all just get blended together in my head. And like, haven't they all worked together? Like, isn't Mig Jimenez like worked for like ammo, but also worked for like AK and like, I don't know. But yeah, AK came out with a, they were trying to market it as like, ooh, it's so intense. Can you handle it? Can you take it? Ooh, are you too weak to take this? But it was literally a guide to like recreating atrocities. I think the Rwandan genocide was in there. I don't know if it was specifically Auschwitz, but there was a death camp in there. Oh yeah, they're like, hey, if you want to make Zyklon B containers, this is totally getting demonetized. If you want to make Zyklon B containers, here's a hot tip for making a Zyklon B canister. Swear to God.
Interesting.
This was a Spanish miniature company.
Christmas time, I believe, as well.
Was it Christmas time?
Yeah,
missed that part.
I thought it was their Christmas promotion or something.
And
like
I'm
that.
pretty sure they had like actually printed this book and they were like bringing it to market. And that was the point where everyone's like, wait, you're doing what now? But
what
their
did
whole
Scale
marketing,
75 do? Because
I think Scale did the orc.
Paints.
I think Scale did the Hitler
really?
orc. Yeah.
Really? That's a choice.
I unfortunately didn't see that one.
Well, fortunately, that's good. Yeah, it's just like why I guess like Infinity has kept their shit together. Corvus Belli, that we know of.
Yeah,
they haven't done anything.
Yeah, we know of.
They haven't done anything sketchy.
But for now.
But yeah, there's some like ammo big. I didn't even know about Big Child Creative until this happened. Controversy where they both claim that they invented this paint, but one of them is a paint company and the other one's not. And I don't know. They're all issuing statements on Instagram and saying the other person's a liar. And yeah, that's the drama for this week. I got no skin in that game.
Good hobby drama.
So in chat, we have Dan Keplinger. He earlier said about your cane that that nothing is wrong with some customizing of your cane.
Yeah, but I'd want like an artist like Dan to customize my cane like with wood rather than like putting stickers on it.
And he went on to say, seeing your pictures with the cane gave me crazy ideas of a Tyrannite cane topper.
Dan, I'm not going to lie. There are parts of me that were like, maybe I should talk to Dan about making a custom cane. But then I was like, no, I'm not going to be using this cane for very long. I shouldn't get comfortable with the cane. And if Dan makes me a cane, I'm going to get comfortable with it. But I would love a Tyranid cane. That would be so cool. So someday when I'm old, Dan, and you're old, but you're not too old to do wood stuff, we'll hook up a Tyranid cane.
You could always get one now, and then you'll have it for when that day comes.
You are correct. You are correct. I mean, I would be down, Dan. You let me know if you're down. We can figure something out. What's that for a birdie tyrant foot?
And Squid with Class said, yes, Triphobia Hive Tyrant.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Oh, no. Is it Triphobia or Tryptophobia? I thought it was Tryptophobia. I didn't make a Tryptophobia warning. Damn it. Does that mean you suffer? Squid? Squid, are you suffering right now because of my Tryptophobia hive tyrant? I guess I should warn the dude who I'm making it for. And I'm like, yo, dude, you might be careful using this if you're going to use this in games with folks, because they might be tryptophobic.
Yeah.
Good observation that I did not think of.
Dinosly commented that it already looks sick.
Thanks, dude.
And Tyler Blevis said, which I lost the line. Hives for the Devourers is a really neat idea.
What? Sorry, one more time?
Hives for the Devourers.
Oh, yeah.
Neat idea.
Well, they're supposed to be hives. Like, aren't Devourers supposed to be like lumps of flesh infested by growing worms or something?
Yeah. It's just not executed very well visually, I think.
No.
No, they need to have them look like a gun for reasons I don't quite comprehend. That's one of my bigger gripes with Tyranids, that everything needs to look like a fucking gun.
Yeah.
Anyway. Gideon said Dark was good, also good practice for his German. You read that one earlier, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom Wilson joined us at that point, and he said, She's a tree battle mech.
She is a tree battle. Yes, that is exactly what Drycha is. Drycha is a tree battle mech. Looks like this. It's the best. Man, I actually like had this model already because I just thought it was cool and I picked it up somewhere. Tree battle mech. I'm basically just using all of her armor and her thigh guards, but the rest is untouched. I'm gonna get at this.
Gideon went on to say not a lot of movies are dubbed in Dutch, luckily, and he knows what I'm talking about. Then Alariel is the lady on the beetle.
Yeah, true. She's Beetleborn. We're dealing with tree mech.
And if you need some arms and corpses being eaten for bits, flesh eater cords seems to be the way to go.
Yeah, actually, I am using some flesh eater corpses for a lot of the Dream Curse stuff. Actually, got a whole bunch.
Nice. Dream Curse is also a really good name.
Well, yeah, because the setting takes place like about, I don't remember the exact date, but like 400 or so years before the first official contact that the Imperium had with the Tyranids.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah, so they have no idea that, what the hell is going on. Nobody has any idea, and the system's so isolated that's why it was like never reported to the Inquisition or anything.
Yeah, like that.
Part of the Tyranid lore that's always really stuck with me is the idea that they've been here for well beyond when the Imperium first saw them.
Yep.
That they're
That
not they're not new to the galaxy. This is just the first time they've come in full force.
Yep.
They've been seeding the galaxy for thousands of years.
Yep. Like that.
I wish Games Workshop would do more with that, because I could really see like some lore for the Eldar or for the orcs, where they basically recognized an old foe. Like the humans didn't encounter them, but the Eldar and the orcs should have.
Yeah. Oh, because they're so much longer lived than the humans, you mean?
Yeah, as civilizations themselves, like spacefaring civilizations, I mean, they're much longer around than.
Yeah.
And if Tyranids were here once before, like Necrons and like all the older races should be knowing about them.
Agreed.
Unless it was just some minor scout force. But I think you could.
Yeah, that's always been my interpretation, at least as far as the official lore goes, is you've got like a lot of like vanguard organisms that got isolated from the larger hive mind and then kind of evolved into more feral organisms, things like the Krakens on Fenris or the Katakan devils or stuff like that, or even the Ripperjacks on Necromunda. I've always had canon that those are like degenerated Tyranids.
I like it.
Yeah, but I would like the idea where they basically have some lore that's had the Elder encounter them earlier, like the Shadow and the Warp should be something very noticeable for Elder.
Yeah, good point.
I mean, even if it's just a scout force, I mean, some ancient malevolent mind that's scouring the galaxy, that should be somewhere in the records of the Black Library. But yeah,
I agree.
anyway.
Using my favorite blade tool here, try and carve off this armor plate, and I realized I should have done that on this one before I put the very delicate bird talon on it, but whatever. What are you gonna say, Kajan?
I wanted to go on with the chat. And the squid with class said, I'm not trying to backseat Kit Bash, but what if the spines on the chest were grasping the hive on the chest?
Bastard. I mean, I could do that. Would have been easier to do before I glued him in there.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't get to it in time.
No, it's fine. I don't know. Gotta decide whether I'm going to make that effort or not. It's good. It's definitely a good suggestion. I'm not poo-pooing the suggestion. I'm just calculating how lazy I am.
I have always liked that trope in Tyranids. It's like these arms are entirely for just being shoved into, you know, some orifice or support something on my back.
What? What do you mean?
Like things like the old biovores where like one of their sets of arms is just kind of like shoved into the like the supports for the gun.
Oh yeah.
Rather than being like operable limbs.
Yep. I see what you mean. Although I think these are supposed to be flesh hooks on the hive tyrant. That's what I've always read them as. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, but hive tyrant don't have flesh
yeah.
hooks anymore, or never had. I'm not sure.
Always have in my mind. They did in second edition because the hive tyrant head that had the two little Barbie things coming out of its mouth, those are supposed to be its flesh hooks. In its mouth. It shoots you with its flesh hook tongue.
Yeah, I thought to remember that once upon a time we could take all the biomorphs.
Oh yeah.
The good old days when there was variety in our models.
And the world was young, and Tyranids were truly biomorphable.
Some talk about Dead Space 3, which we're going to. And Tom Wilson said, liking Rogue One is not controversial.
There was a time when it was. I thought, like, although Star Wars fans hate everything, so I thought that there was a time when they hated Star Wars Rogue One because it had a female protagonist in it who was good at shit. But
really, because
I don't really care.
I'm pretty sure that Rogue One was almost universally praised when it came out.
Really?
Yeah, you
I thought they hated it.
You had a very no. I'm pretty sure Rogue One was like everybody was like, this is so much better than the prequels or than the sequels, and
yeah.
you know there was people who were saying it's better than the prequels too, but like people were saying, you know, oh maybe Disney can make Star Wars movies.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I mean, I don't know. The woman never bothered me, but I wasn't a fan of the first third, but I totally nerded out.
You weren't a fan of what? Sorry?
The first third of the movie.
Oh, okay.
But I totally nerded out when they had the Darth Vader scene.
Oh yeah, that was great. It was nice to see Vader in action again.
Yeah, I'm not ashamed to admit that that scene totally worked on me.
It's okay. I'm not ashamed to admit that I love the Luke Skywalker scene in Mandalorian when he first shows up. That's the only thing I like about Mandalorian, though.
I also liked where he was building the academy.
Oh yeah, that was kind of cute. I'm gonna do this.
I don't understand why people hate on the Luke scenes from Mandalorian. Then again, I'm not a fan of the last season we got. So
No, I tried to watch it and I couldn't finish it. I don't even really remember it. All I remember is a bunch of Mandalorian trooper dudes hanging out by some starships and
being
Kareth Race
idiots.
being all like weird about it, and I don't know.
Yeah, and being absolute idiots. Like we have this mega fauna here that's stealing children and whatnot. And yeah, let's hang out by the riverside where the children get easily grabbed. It's no wonder the
I don't think I even made it that
Mandalorians
far.
I should mention.
Oh, you're talking about the Mandalorian colony. No, I'm talking about like Kareth Race's like buddies from Mandalore. Not the secret Mandalorians, the like overt Mandalorians. There's like the two tribes, isn't there?
Yeah, it's the woman that played Starbuck in whatever her
Katie
name
Sackhoff.
is. Yeah, I don't like her as an actress. So
Okay.
she is one of those actors which I'm not sure why I dislike them, but I dislike them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can kind of echo that. I've always had a problem with her because she always has the same expression on her face.
Oh. Is it the one from that meme? With the math?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. As I said, I really don't know why I don't like her.
That's okay. I don't like Will Ferrell. I can't explain
There's
it.
a very good reason to not like Will Ferrell.
What's that?
He's just obnoxious and like way overrated in my opinion.
Oh, okay. You're like the only person who's ever agreed with me on that.
I think he's I don't think he's untalented, but I think he's like people act like he's in the short list, a lot of people's short list for funniest actor of all time, and I'm like,
yeah, I think he
like,
but I feel like people think he's funny because he just acts stupid. I don't think that that's very clever.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked him in Elf. Elf is a good movie, but I also think that other actors could work playing that character. I've never thought that Will Ferrell brings something irreplaceable to Elf as him himself. I don't know. That's not a popular opinion. I know a lot of people love Will Ferrell, but I've never been a fan.
I have to admit, each time someone brings up his name, I have to Google who it is.
Yeah.
I know the guy.
There's a bunch of contrarians here on the stream.
Yeah. But anyway, we done.
What?
And we then had Diana join us, and she observed. Dan was making a joke about that she joined, and that means we should be quick to like and comment, and subscribe.
Yes. The Diana factor.
Yeah, and Diana came back with that. Hi Dan, not going to lie, I did notice there were less than half as many likes as viewers on the stream when I started watching.
Thank you, Diana. Yes, Diana is always reminding us to remind everyone to like and comment and subscribe so that you can get more of this
will be under your bed tonight.
Refreshing banter about, I don't know, movies and Star Wars and shit. Definitely not Warhammer. Does anyone have anything Warhammer they want to talk about? Not saying you have to. Just asking.
Trying to think of anything interesting.
Wait, Shane, did we talk about how you felt about the Alien and Predator stuff yet? We had that conversation? Okay, good.
Yeah, we talked about that last stream.
So I brought it up to the other boys, to Flynnhammer and Simon. And like I think maybe Flynnhammer had seen this stuff, but Simon didn't know anything about any of it. And I'm like, oh yeah, and the Predator preview. Oh yeah, then the other Predator preview. And they're like, what? Like, guys, come on. You can have your cards revoked.
Give me your Gribbly card. You've lost it.
I didn't know what the card was called. Gribbly card is awesome. Speaking
like
of Gribbly
it's a good
cards,
name for just catch-all creepy alien creature.
I like it.
Bands.
I think it works. Speaking of Gribbly card, we are working on June Stealer. We are making progress on June Stealer, which is our celebration of all things June Stealer in June. We have a cool logo that someone made for us, and I'm in talks with a sponsor for prize support. So just got to figure out what's possible, because anyone who takes on prize support for June Stealer needs to be open to shipping internationally, and not all retailers can do that. So yeah, just trying to talk that over. But you can look forward to that. I think Flinhammer will want to announce the theme for June Stealer on the next Creature Conference stream. Make sure you got some, I was going to say make sure you got some human models lying around. Okay, that's not very much. Yeah, it'll be a Brood Brothery kind of thing. But we'll have more about that next time. Freaking out at nothing.
The most common thing said by every cat owner. What is my cat doing?
You're right, you're right. That's how I know I'm a cat owner. He's staring at a wall.
Coming from the other room. What is my cat doing?
A spider? Oh, she's trying to hunt a spider. Cool, she's a cat after my own heart.
Yes, good job. Feed. She must feed.
It's because she's evil. She's toying with the spider.
She will eventually kill it.
Play with your food.
Yeah.
Make it suffer.
Wait, Shane, do you have a cat?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I've always had a cat. I've had a cat for as long as I can remember. I had a cat.
Cool. New thing for me. Although we had a cat when I was a kid, but it was when I was a teenager, but it was like my mom's cat, and we like inherited it, and we didn't have it for that long, and she gave it away.
I also would like to correct you. You don't have a cat. The cat has you.
Yeah.
Well, the cat has Nora. It's Nora's cat. I'm just the backup feeder.
Yeah. Yeah, the feeder.
It sits on Nora. It makes biscuits on Nora. I'm just the feeder when Nora's not around. Substandard human, give me food, is basically what she says. Why did I glue this together if I just have to cut it apart? Silly. Anyone in the chat have any burning hobby questions? Wait, you had a dog once?
I had a dog once, and that was like for 3 weeks, and then I was like, Mom, this is not for me.
Really? Oh, dude, I love dogs. Yeah. I'm a dog person through and through.
We had a neighbor who was like a big dog person, so we let her adopt the dog.
Dang. Sorry, it didn't work out for you.
It just was not. It just was not for me. I don't know. Like, and now that I got a kid, I'm like, yeah. If I had to do this for 15 years, or however long the dog would live, I would be like, yeah, because like having a toddler is like having a dog.
It's like no, but dude, the difference is the stuff that you deal with a toddler for years, I deal with a dog for weeks, and then the dog gets over it. Like when we got Ripley and he was a puppy, we had some sleepless nights, and by some I mean like 4 or 5 maybe. Might have been a couple of weeks that we had to go get up in the night and let him out to pee in the middle of the night. But then he just like was able to sleep through. And then I talked to my friends who have kids, and they're like sleepless nights for like a year. I feel like I got off easy.
I don't know. I just think dogs are way too high maintenance for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess higher maintenance than a cat, sure, but...
Oh, yeah.
But like... we put our, like, for the first couple of years of our dog's life, we would just, like, put our dog in a box and lock him in the box for a couple hours and he would sleep. Like, we didn't have to worry about, like, whether he wanted to sleep
That
or
sounds
not.
like a very low maintenance dog compared to what I've seen.
Yeah, dude. It's just like, I think it just comes down to training. Like, we just, like, some people don't crate their dog because they don't want to, but we learned very early on that crating your dog is like, it helps your sanity, and it also helps the dog's sanity, because the dog, like, has a space that's their own. It has a space that's, like, that it's safe. They don't love it at first because they want to, like, be partying with you all the time. But eventually it got to the point where Ripley's just like, yeah, you know what? I'm not feeling comfortable right now. I'm going to go in my crate. And it was just like his safe space. So it was win-win. The challenge is that when you try to first, like, crate your dog, the dog whines. And, like, the first 2 nights when we put him in his crate, he like cried for most of the night. I think, like, he eventually went to sleep and all that, but you just have to be able to put up with that. Like, we've talked to people who are like, oh yeah, I tried to crate my dog when I first got them, but then they cried. And it's like, yeah, that's what they do. And then they stop very quickly. And they were like, yeah, well, you know, he cried, so we let him sleep in our bed with us. And then he shat all over us because he had diarrhea one time. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then you started crating him? They're like, no, we just let him sleep in the bed still. I'm like, okay. That dog would have lost privileges in my mind. No more sleeping in the bed after that. Not the dog's fault, but, you know. Anyway. That's where I am.
I just I don't know, maybe my cats have just been really well behaved, but like, wow, for the most part. Actually, my first cat
Was
or
a
my
monster?
second cat was, well, he wasn't a monster. He just, like, I mean, he was actually a really friendly cat. He just had a lot of, like, medical issues.
Oh, gotcha.
My current cat is like no problems.
Cool. Good. Yeah, and, like, it's the case that my mom has a dog, and, like, it's been a lot of work for her, but that's like a puppy, and you gotta, like, put up with it and get through it and then train it up and get it to, like, a good point. But I don't know. I don't think we got lucky with Ripley. I want to pretend that we trained him well, but maybe we got lucky. Who knows?
Whomst amongst us has not shit the bed?
Let he who has not shit the bed cast the first turd. Who was that? Or was that you?
That was Tom Wilson.
Nice. We're talking metaphorically? We're talking physically? All of the above?
I believe we're talking physically.
Yes, good answer.
And I think most people would have done it, at least as children, at some point.
Yeah, you're right. I think so. But, like, it was the point where, like, this lady was telling us about how her dog shat in their bed, and it was, like, in her hair, and I was just like, oh god.
Oh no. Oh no.
No, I would be done.
No.
There'd be no
I'd be
more
done
dog in
with the
bed after
dog.
that.
I'd be like, yeah.
No, you can't be done with the dog. It's not their fault.
There would be no more dog. There would be no more dog.
Dog
Like,
would
I wouldn't
cease to
hurt the
exist.
dog, but that dog's not
Would
in
not
my
live in your
house
house anymore? Okay.
You are an outdoor dog now.
Okay. Run, be free.
Our dog. Yes. Help cull the stray cat population. Because I love cats, but they're really, really bad for nature. Don't let your cats roam outside, people.
We do not. Probably because we think our cat would die if we let it outside.
Yeah, it's not good for them. It's dangerous for them, and it's really bad for, like, local wildlife, especially bird
You're
populations.
invited? You can listen to the stream. Nora wants to be involved in dog and cat talk. Thought you were feeling under the weather. Oh crap, what am I doing? Oh, whatever. Again, why did I bother gluing this crap? Let me cut it up. Well, I didn't really know what I was doing. Spoiler alert, I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't sure. I know, I was going to tell you. So, we got this cardboard box, and Sasha loves or phone. We got this cardboard box, and Sasha loves it, and it's like insulated, like it's one that like meals come in, and Nora like set it up to be like a cat hideout for Sasha. She really liked it, and then we got like another cardboard box from the same company, and Nora stacked it on top of the first cardboard box, so now there's like a cat condo growing. And Sasha's only been hanging out in the lower of the two cardboard boxes until right now. She just transitioned to the upper box. So Nora's thrilled. It is pretty cute.
I can't. I hate when like I don't know.
What?
I'm sculpting something and it just I can't get it to look great.
Yeah. What are you trying to hit?
So it's like there's like a spinal column attached to this guy.
Yep.
And like the spinal column comes from like a different model, and I'm trying to get it to like blend with the current model, and it's I don't know. I think maybe I fucked up conceptually. I feel like this maybe doesn't work, but I'm in too deep now, so
Commit.
we got to make it work.
Yep. Is the column too big? Need to be smaller?
No, it's that it like so like the rest of the model, it kind of looks like like you know, like those kind of interpretations of werewolves where they've got it's like a werewolf ripping out of a person's skin, and
Yes.
you can kind of see the skin still attached. So
Yep.
one part of the model is like that, and I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate that element into the spinal column. Maybe I just need to like blend the spinal column on and then let it cure and then sculpt the layers of skin over it.
Yes.
Maybe I'm
do it in layers. That's a good call. I like that.
I gotta get the spinal column like blended in first so that I can then do that step. The other thing I really struggle with, I love Nivea for lubricating my tools. The only issue I have with it is that when you have to like, if you find that like you don't have enough green stuff in the space that you're sculpting and you want to add more green stuff, it's so difficult to get it to stick.
Oh,
to the
yeah.
layer that you've already been Nivea.
Really?
Nivea-ing.
Do I have that much trouble with that? I don't know. Although I maybe I'm not working in that small an area or with that small amounts.
I find it like, especially when I'm like working with like smaller, more delicate areas.
Yeah.
That like I struggle to get the green stuff to just like stick to the and then there's always like
well, then you got to let it dry.
there's always like
you got to
this,
let it dry and come back.
Yeah, but then it's like then I have trouble getting it to like not look like there's been a separation or like there's two different layers or blending the layers together.
Yeah, but if you mix your green stuff with epoxy sculpt, it should blend better.
Yeah, it does. I don't know. This is now like one side of the column looks okay, but then this side looks kind of jank. Kind of jank.
Jankety jank.
All right, I'm just gonna call that done for now, and I'll come back to it with another layer. Maybe I can get it looking a little better. I think it looks like shit right now, but
you'll fix it later.
We can get it to less shit with a second layer of green stuff.
I believe in you.
And if not, we'll just you know, I don't know.
Cut it off.
I could cut it off. But then the problem is part carved away the details on the model to make room for the spine. So then I'm
Oh.
still gonna have to sculpt something.
Yeah.
I'm trying to avoid having to sculpt a spine because I like this spine. It's like it's from one of the aberrants, Genesular aberrants.
Well, it could be the case that it's gonna fit better if you sculpt it yourself. Like I've been there where I'm like, I'm gonna use this bit, I'm gonna use this bit, I'm gonna use this bit. And then it's kind of like that Simpsons episode with "It's gone, I know."
Yeah. Really trying to make it work, but it might
All right,
be.
I understand.
This might be a case where I gotta sculpt it. All right, I actually just got an idea. I'm gonna try one more thing.
Good.
See if this will work. And then if not, then I don't know. Then we'll call it quits. I think there are just like maybe some areas where I need more green stuff. Definitely, there's definitely going to be a second layer once I want to add like the skin, the stretch of the skin.
Yep.
But I just do want it to look like, you know, some semblance of like the spinal column is actually organically attached to the body rather than just looking like a bit that's tacked on.
Yeah. Once again, why did I glue these pieces together when I'm just going to have to carve them apart to make them fit? Fantastic.
Gideon asks if it's a cryptor spine.
No, he said aberrant. Right?
Yeah, Genesular aberrant. It's like one of the bits from the... Actually, this might be the spine from the Abominant.
I was going to say, I didn't think that aberrants had spines. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I think
maybe
it's
I just haven't looked at them recently.
Actually.
That's a precious bit.
Yep. This model actually uses several bits from the Abominant. This is one of those projects where it was like, I'm almost done with 2 other projects. Let me start a new one.
Good plan. As one does.
Yes. As it was written. Or since we were talking about The Mandalorian, this is the way.
I was trying to get there. It's like, what's that thing he says again? I had this, like, foolish notion that, like, Grogu may, like, actually become, like, useful at some point. And then I've had to...
being a marketing tool.
Yeah, I've had to just give that up and just be like, no, he's just there to act cute and then, like, randomly use super powerful force when it's needed.
Yes,
he's like a force dolly. He's like a little force dolly. Yeah. He farts around and then...
Well, he's like the marketing Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah.
We promised that we had a very in-depth, you know, lore reason for this character's existence. We promise it totally wasn't so that even, you know, stay-at-home 50-year-old moms know about Baby Yoda. It totally wasn't to sell toys. We promise. Just like Baby Groot wasn't totally just to sell toys.
Did I imagine it, or was there a point where the baby was actually going to be like a real baby and not like a weird alien baby? Did I imagine that? Did they say
no
that?
Idea about that.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I imagined it.
I mean, I don't know. I've always kind of had an issue with Grogu, Baby Yoda, whatever you want to call him. I just have always thought it just always struck me as a really, really transparent, like, marketing tactic by Disney.
Well, it kind of works. Like, I watched some of The Mandalorian with Nora, and she's not really interested in other Star Wars. I think we watched Rogue One together, but Oh no, wait! I tried to watch most of the trilogy / maybe some of the prequels with her. I can't remember how far we got.
I mean, no,
We
I'm
went to a
not. I'm
party.
not saying it was a bad marketing decision. I just hate that like we're gonna like add things to the lore just so we can sell toys.
What did they add to the lore for the with Baby Gogo with Baby Yoda?
No, he's saying nothing. Well, what would you say, Shane?
I didn't hear the question.
What did they add to the lore with Baby Gogo?
True.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's just Yoda species kid that kind of exists.
I think it's
You
just
guys
that
hear?
like I hate characters that are just there to
Be
or
cute.
like, and this is kind of what. Well, no, it's more. It's partially that, but like I also have always had an issue with mystery for the sake of mystery,
What's
and
an
like
example?
I hate like Lost. A lot of Lost felt like that. Mysterious things that never get explained, and
Yeah,
it's like we just make it. We just introduce these mysterious concepts just so people have something to talk about when they go to work the next day.
yeah.
Um, and so
Well,
like, you know, 50 billion YouTubers can make clickbait theory videos.
yeah. Although, like, I'm always one of my favorite descriptions was I can't remember who did it, but it was describing the difference. God, it might have been Neil Gaiman. I don't know. Describing the difference between Stephen King and H.P. Lovecraft. That H.P. Lovecraft describes something horrible under a sheet and how it's like writhing strangely under the sheet and like the weird noises that are coming out of it and like kind of the suggestions of like shapes you can see under the sheet. And then he gets you to the point where he's about to tear off the sheet and then the story ends. Versus Stephen King, who like kind of tells you there's some scary stuff under the sheet and then rips off the sheet and describes everything under the sheet in like disgusting detail. And like saying that it's two different kinds of horror, like the anticipation and like the lingering mystery versus the reveal. And I've always been a fan of the lingering mystery because oftentimes what my imagination comes up with is way creepier than the reveal. And like the reveal, I'm like, oh,
True,
really? That was
and
it?
don't get me wrong. And don't get me wrong, I do like mysteries that are never answered, and in fact, it's something that I kind of wish Warhammer lore would adhere to a lot more. But my issue is that when it I don't know, it just doesn't seem to add anything
Right.
to the plot,
Other
and
than
it just
mystery,
seems kind of
though, right?
right, like it's just mystery for the sake of mystery.
Well,
Um,
it in the case of Lost, though, like I feel like mystery for the sake of mystery worked because it's like, what is this weird place? Like, there's so much weird shit going on in this place. It kind of elevated the setting by not answering the questions. Like, I don't know. I like whenever there was weird shit in Lost, I was like, oh my god, what? And I don't know, it worked on me for some reason. I didn't need it to all be wrapped up at the end.
No, I didn't need it all to be wrapped up, but I felt like there were too many questions
Yes, okay, I see.
left at the end.
Yeah.
We have a question in chat if you want
Great.
to take it.
Yes, please.
Ripped Lampshade asks, from someone who knows little about kit bashing, if you wanted something like a T-Fax legs for kit bash, do you order a whole model or do you
Oh
just
god.
look for the legs being sold online?
That
How
is an
much money do you
excellent
make a year?
that is an excellent question. Tranifex legs are excellent legs. I have a model right here that I still need to finish off, but I would tell you that I improved the Norn Emissary model, and it was simply by adding Tyranifex legs. They're going to be very hard to find because you can't build a Tranifex without the legs. There's only one set of legs in it. These legs came from buying a kit and then just stealing the legs. The beauty of it is that, well, possible justification is that there's a lot of really good eating in the Tranifex kit. We did a stream a while back about the best Tyranid kits for kit bashing. Bits for kits, I think we called it. I can't remember how high the Tranifex ranked, but I think it ranked kind of high. Because there's a lot of cool stuff. Oh, also, like, the big mouth that I put on this guy, because this is the size of the Norn Emissary mouth. Swear to God. That's the actual mouth that comes on the Norn Emissary. This mouth came off of Tranifex, so there's another bit that you can use. But unfortunately, I would say the best source for Tranifex legs is buying a Tranifex kit. Because you can go on and look for people who are selling their bits, but they're going to be selling you, like, the Turvagon bits they didn't use on their Tranifex, or the Tranifex bits they didn't use on their Turvagon. But you got to use the legs for either one, so it might be tough. And even on bit sorter sites, I'm assuming the legs will go first. Anyone else have thoughts? Shane?
My main metric, because I buy a lot of individual bits from a lot of kits, and I try and avoid buying kits as much as possible.
Yeah.
Just because I've got so much shit in my pile of shame.
Pile of potential, Shane.
But my metric, yeah, my metric for whether I buy a kit or I buy the bit is how much is the bit going to cost me. If I'm spending $25 on a kit that's $50 to get like one little bit, and I know that like there's at least some other stuff in the kit that I can use, I'll probably just get the kit. When the bits you're buying are like, because you'll find that certain bits, especially the more desirable ones, are super inflated price wise. Like, I think I was looking up, it was a Tyranid bit. I think I was looking up it was a piece from the Norn Emissary. I forget which one it was. Oh yeah, it was like the back tentacles from the Norn Emissary, like just the like weird back parasite thing, and they wanted like $30 for it. And
what?
I'm like,
really?
yeah.
That's too
and I'm
much.
like,
the tentacles are nice. They're not that nice.
Right. So yeah, it's generally a price thing for me. That being said, if there's like a bit that's really hard to find and it's like I'm dead set that like this is the bit I want for this specific conversion, I need this bit, and if the only option is buying the kit, then I will. And there's been occasions where it's like I've bought a kit specifically just for that one bit, and I had no real intention of ever really using any other part of the kit. And like it'll sometimes the rest of the kit will just sit there in a box for months, maybe years. And then one day I'm like, wait a minute. I can use this. I can use this bit from this kit that I bought a million years ago that I didn't think I was ever going to need anything else from.
Yeah, one thing I've also done is if it's hard to explain, but like if there's like bits that I have that I'm like, oh god, I hate this bit, like, oh, there's nothing I could do with this, you can kind of set yourself a challenge for what to do with it. Like this was inspired by the Kill Team box, but I have a number of these kicking around, these gravid sacks from the Turvagon, and I hate them. I think they're boring, but then I realized you can make them into terrain. But so, or I think I've also used them for like ammo pouches on like creatures with really big guns. So yeah, you can kind of like set yourself a challenge for the rest. If you buy that kit just for the legs, and there's bits in there, you're like, I'm never going to use this for anything. Try like, this is hard to explain, but something that Bits of Box does really well is he'll take a bit and he'll like turn it upside down, or turn it like backwards, or like take the two halves and try to put them together a different way than they're supposed to go together. And that's a good exploration that can help you find uses for bits that you wouldn't normally find. I don't know how much of that you can just do on your own, or if it's like a gift that Box has, but he's inspired me to try and do that, to try and look at bits differently, to see how else they could go together. Like that's how I discovered these arms. Like I'm like, well, what happens if I cut the membranes off those arms? Like, what are they going to be like? Maybe it was bits of box using them for something I can't remember. Why is this arm not going as easy?
Yeah, I've always thought that would be kind of an interesting mid-Vember challenge.
Using bits that
Yeah,
you don't like?
like maybe do almost like a Secret Santa, where like another
Oh,
person
someone gives you like a bag of
will
bits and
like
you got to
pick
figure
out.
it out?
Yeah, and then you like
Like it.
they gotta make a conversion, and I would like it if it was like specifically hard to work with bits.
Yeah,
Stuff where you really gotta think about it.
I like that idea. I'd support that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're
Rip,
getting something going with the spine now.
Good.
Rip Lampshade just said, I just didn't want the rest of the Tyrannofax body go to waste.
Yeah. Well, you could turn the tables around where you buy the kit, you take the bits you want, and then you try and sell the rest.
Yeah, I could also do that. I mean, fortunately for you, you're a part of a community of people who like like kit bashing and like Tyranids. So,
Yep.
there'd probably be somebody in the Discord server that wants what you got.
Yeah, you're going to be crazy like me, and you're going to sculpt your own legs for that, for the rest of the T-Fax. So
Yeah, you could do that too. It's a lot of work though. And I don't know that I would do it. Because I'm lazy. But Kajan is dedicated.
Okay, this looks okay.
He's also sorry for derailing the lost discussion, and I would like to
No,
say
that's
about
fine.
that.
That's fine.
Hobby questions always have priority.
Agreed.
Exactly.
Agreed.
Usually, the only reason we talk about other shit is because we can't think of
Yeah.
hobby discussion. So
Exactly.
if you have actual hobby discussion,
You're helping
it's
out.
preferable.
Agreed.
The hive mind. The hive mind helps. All right. Okay, this does not look horrible. Doesn't
Good answer.
look great, but it doesn't look horrible.
Does not look horrible. What we aim for on here.
I can work with this. Probably just need to. Okay, maybe if we add like some smaller details now to make it look a little more.
Okay, so I swear I'm not trying to spoil stuff for myself, but I also really like Adriana on Sopranos, and I'm really dreading what happens to her.
Are you?
Yes.
Well, I won't spoil anything.
Good man. Wanted to share that. I think she's a good kid. She means well. She's just trapped in a crazy world.
If anything does happen to her, if it's any consolation, Drea Amadia is a super trumper. So.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that. Oh, I was talking to Red Wet Skeleton about the whole, like, why can't Spanish miniature companies get their shit together thing? And I joked, like, oh yeah, this is why I buy my paints from Monument Hobbies. Because, like, the worst that's going to happen with them is that they're going to be secret Trump supporters or something. Hopefully they're not. That'd be not good.
Okay. All right. A little burnishing tool is improving things some.
Good.
The
All burnishing tool?
Yep.
Nice.
Little dots in between the ribby bits and kind of
dots are your friends, man.
A little more gribbly. Gribbly. We like gribbly.
We do. The Gribbly card likes Gribbly.
Yep.
How did you know her
yeah,
name? The Adriana actress.
Oh, I've watched The Sopranos several times now.
Oh, okay.
So I'm pretty familiar with most of the actors.
Gotcha.
I think it's an absolute.
How was that movie they made?
It is not awful.
Good.
It is also not good.
Oh, damn.
It is it halfway through the movie I was kind of like, why does this exist? Like,
oh, okay.
It doesn't do anything to like undo, like it doesn't retcon anything really.
Yeah.
Not anything as like.
Isn't it like about Tony and Chris's dad?
I noticed. Kinda. It's more just about like kind of how Tony formed the relationships that he has in The Sopranos with all like the big characters. And like what really bothered me is that like I think John Bernthal as Tony's dad was like horribly miscast. I think that was like an
John
awful.
Oh, that doesn't sound great.
Yeah, not a good choice. I will say that
he was probably a big deal at that time.
Oh yeah. I will say that forget his name. But the guy that got to play Tony, who is oh my god, I'm blanking on his name. James Gandolfini. James Gandolfini's son. His spitting image, and he had the mannerisms and everything down like pat. Like he was totally believable as being a young Tony Soprano.
Cool.
Both looks wise and mannerism wise.
That's pretty amazing. They got his kid to do it, and it wasn't just like a dumb bit. Like the kid did a good job.
Yeah, no, he did a great job.
I mean, sad. Like
sad.
Like your dad's character when dad died. Yeah, but cool.
Well, I mean, it's just so sad that he died at all. Like, he was so young.
Yeah.
And he was such a good actor too. Like in other things, I saw him in. He was in oh, what was he in? The Zero Dark 30.
Oh, okay.
He was in that. He was great in that. He's been in some other stuff too. It's so weird seeing him in like interviews and stuff, because he's just got like this absolutely normal, like really classically simple American accent.
Oh, really?
And it's so
like
weird
it's not at all New Jersey?
Like that. No, he's not at all got a Jersey accent. He's just like an absolutely normal dude. But it's like, it's funny when you hear him talk,
you like,
feel like that is him doing an accent, not like
like, come on, Tony, funny. What are you pretending at here? We know
exactly. Like, why are you doing this fake American accent?
Oh man, cool. Trying to maximize my tryptophobia here.
Gideon Smith paid you a compliment earlier, and he said, "I'm building a Norn for my Crusade game, and just now seeing yours makes the original look so much worse."
Sorry, buddy. You can change it. You just gotta buy a Tyrannifex and steal some legs.
Yeah,
you can. Well, okay, so if you're patient, you can modify the emissary legs to make them longer. Just takes work. Like I did that when I made the Megalictor from the emissary. I lengthened the emissary legs. It's doable. And the easiest way to lengthen Tyrannid legs when you're doing it is where can I show you? If you're going to lengthen Tyrannid legs, here's how you do it. You cut the leg. Got too many things going on here. I'm trying to hold this thing I'm gluing. So see these vents along the leg? See how they start thin and then they get fat and then they taper again? You want to cut it. Well, this one's a little challenging, but you probably want to cut it at the thickest point of those fence. Like right about here. And you want to cut it like between those, and you want to cut in the middle of an armor plate. So you don't want to, like, you want to come down. Is this, wait, hold on. Like, here's the tip of the other plate above, and then you want to, so that you can add another armor plate in here between this one, and that you can just, like, extend the rib structure. So there's the detail on either end, and then you can just kind of mimic that structure in between. Yeah, and then, like, if you want to extend them down here, same kind of thing, where you want to hit it in the middle of this. There's this gap here, and, like, you want to get in the middle of that, and then you want to go through the middle of this armor plate on top. Angles are terrible, sorry. Yeah, and then here, you could just do it, like, right about there, whatever, and extend it. Or maybe, actually, if I was going to do it on this one, I would probably extend it up here in this, like, bulgy, I don't know what that is. Is that a calf muscle? And then extend it there. And the best way to do it is to, because the legs are hollow on these big critters, I've glued my finger. Oh, god damn it. I should have been trying to glue that while explain it. Whatever. It is what it is. On Jibba Jab Jabba. On the big kits, the legs tend to be hollow. So you want to get thin plastic card tube and use that, thread that into the hollow space inside the legs. And if you need it to be more robust, thread smaller pieces of plastic card tube inside of larger pieces, like telescoping. And that's one way you can do it. And then what you can do is you can thread a wire, or like a thick copper wire, through the skinniest of the tubes in the middle to give it additional structure.
Yes.
All right, tryptophobics, watch out, but there's my Tryptophobia Hive Tyrant armor so far. Got some shoulder plates that I worked in there over the wings. I've got his torso stuff. I haven't attached the tail yet because, hot tip when you're making Hive Tyrants, I think that the tail fits way too snug in there, that it doesn't give it very much of a waist, and that you should always extend your tails a little bit. Crap. Yeah, to give your tyrant a little bit of extra height. So this is difficult because I put that armor plate on the front of his chest, and it's kind of like obscuring the tail. But I'm going to put a pin in this tail and extend it to about there to make him a little bit taller. So you can't really see it, but there's a gap inside the cup that this ball is supposed to fit into. And I cut away part of the ball so I can just, like, sculpt an additional detail there. But it's probably not even going to be necessary. Mostly going to be obscured. But yeah, the difference is between that, which is the ball fitting right into the cup, and this. Only a few centimeters, like half an inch or something, but I think it helps. And this armor plate kind of obscures the extension. I did that in my walking Hive Tyrant. I extended both the waist and I extended the head. Because if you use the neck in its normal configuration, it brings the head forward, like sticking out the front of the body. And on my walking tyrant, I rearranged the neck so it's up a little higher. Like, there's a lot of room in this, like, tyrant hood. So I'm gonna have it more like position the neck, because the neck is supposed to be like this, sticking out the front. I'm gonna have it more up a bit, that, and then I'm gonna have the head mounted higher, like that. Those are my tips for building better Hive Tyrants. And then his creepy Devour Slicey arm is going to come down here. I'm going to mount some Devourers beside that hand. And then for the other arm, I'm going to give him some unique close combat weapon, like a bone swordy kind of thing, because I think it looks more interesting. Then he's going to have more Tryptophobia on his tail piece. Guess I could glue that on now. Here's my Tryptophobia plate. Oh, there it is. So that will go on the pelvis.
I think I got an idea to make this work.
Yeah?
I think what I'm going to do is, like, once this dries, do like a perimeter ring of green stuff around the spine.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of splay it out to make it look like the spine is like tearing out of the back.
Well, that's cool.
So it'll kind of look like it's erupting from the skin on the back, and then that'll kind of blend it in more with the overall like torn skin look of the model.
Good.
I think that'll work. We'll see how it looks once it's done.
Hmm. Yep.
Mall Ninjas at Space Marine 2 Hive Tyrant with battle damage, best boy.
Sorry, one more time. Space Marine 2 Hive Tyrant with battle damage what?
Best boy?
I don't know if I got to that part. I don't have the game anymore, so I can't play the DLC. Is that what we're talking about?
It's not in the DLC, it's in the operations.
Was that like the very first mission where they're like, congratulations, you're fighting a Hive Tyrant, and you're like, I'm doing a what now?
Yeah, in the second operations mission.
Oh, I don't know if I played all the operations missions.
Yeah, there's a mission, the second one called Decapitation, and you're fighting the Hive. You're tasked with bringing down a Hive Tyrant. First, you're dropping a bridge onto it, and then you're going in for the kill.
Oh, so these are like the optional ones that you can do, right?
The co-op ones, yes.
Yeah, but if you don't have any friends, you can play them on your own. I played the first one on my own because I have no friends. Play Space Marine apparently, but I couldn't bother set up my friend's PlayStation on my get it on the Wi-Fi. Basically, I'm a single player guy. I play single player campaigns. I don't really care about multiplayer.
Yeah, that was me until COVID, and during COVID, I got to know a couple people that are playing online.
Nice.
And that's apparently we are going to go for the new Dune game next. So
Doom?
Dune, yeah.
Dune or Doom?
Dune with the sandworm spice.
I didn't know there's a Dune game coming out.
It's coming out in June.
Dune is coming out in June? Nice.
Yeah, on the 10th.
What kind of game is it?
It's for PC. Some semi multiplayer type of deal, like survival crafting. It's based on an alternate reality version of it. Like it starts with Paul having a vision, and he's talking to the camera and going like, I've seen many versions of the future. This is one that would be a possibility if I had not been in it.
Yeah.
And then you're basically playing a future of Arrakis that has no Paul Atreides.
Yeah. Interesting.
I gotta get going, guys.
I probably need to get going too. It's getting late.
So
thanks, dudes.
I will catch you guys on the next.
Thanks for chatting for so long.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see you again for the next stream in 2 weeks' time. And I hope everyone stays healthy and well and gets some creative stuff done. And Shane, thank you for being on the stream tonight.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Have a good night.
Mhm.
And Kajan, thank you so much for being on the stream tonight.
Yeah, was my pleasure. But Mall Ninja also just said, we play regularly, Mr. Pink. You're welcome to join.
Well, I don't have a PlayStation 4 or 5 or whatever the heck it is anymore, but thanks. All right, I'll chat with everyone soon. Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Bye.